Well, it's an interesting thing. It's a good question. I think because, first of all, you have to look at the guy who's handling it all, which is Alexander Payne, and his track record. Look at the films he's done. He's done 5 films, and all 5 films are really wonderfully made films. He knows how to tell a story. He knows how to make something funny, and he knows how to turn it around. And in particular, this film carries a certain amount of depth on the on the other end, the wife dying and a man sort of coming to age at, it's a coming of age film for a 50-year-old. And I think that a lot of us have dealt with issues or people like that, and I think it touches, I run into a lot of people who talk about family members who they've had to go through these things with. So I think it just touches a lot of people that way. I do work, this is, both of these films being nominated, by the way, for me, it's 3 years of hard work, 3 years of things that mattered to me. And so, it felt really nice to have that acknowledgement. But what I really remember and what I do this for is because I really love filmmaking and being part of film, and I know film history, and I know in 1976 there was Taxi Driver, and there was All the President's Men, and there was Network, and there was Bound for Glory, and there was Rocky, and Rocky won Best Picture, which is a tremendous picture. But I remember all 5 of those movies. That's what I remember. So I'm a big believer in film. That's all. It's what I do for a living, and I really enjoy it. So the acknowledgement is unbelievably nice and unbelievably complimentary. But it's just more encouraging to keep doing what I'm trying to do.
C'est a joke. C'est très gentil, mais bien. Non, c'est très gentil, mais je peux évidemment pas entendre ça.
It's very nice, but it's hard for him to hear such things.
J'ai beaucoup de respect pour Georges Clooney, mais et je vais pas faire le modeste, mais vous savez comment c'est, quoi. Je suis un acteur français, je débarque ici et je suis.
He has a lot of respect for George Clooney, but he's flattered, but he's a French actor who's just arrived here.
Je sais pas quoi dire en fait.
He doesn't know what to say.
Laissez-moi le temps de comprendre cette chose-là.
Give him time to just understand this, what he's holding.
Et puis ensuite on verra.
And then we'll see.
Coming into this, I had a very reductive view of Margaret Thatcher. I sort of did what we all do to political leaders that we don't agree with. We sort of captionalize them and turn them into something more than human and less than human at the same time. And it was interesting to me to look at the human being behind the headlines and imagine what it's like to look at a life so huge and controversial and groundbreaking in the winter of that life, and to have sort of a compassionate view of someone with whom I disagree.
Oh, I have tremendous fondness for that performance, of course, because I've seen it so many times, and I think that, well, the film kind of meanders and maybe falls apart a bit towards the end, and she's surrounded by by a sort of outdated and kind of stodgy style. She's luminous, she's in the moment, everything feels like it's happening for the first time. I think her comic touch was her greatest touch, but she was honored by this organization numerous times for that. I think it was something, I don't think they have it anymore, like the Star of the World Award or something like that.
I can't pick between any movies that I make, even looking way back between my first movie and my most recent movie. I can't pick favorites among them. I think the weird thing was that the Tintin timing, I never would have, in my right mind, I never would have released 2 movies within 5 days of each other. But that's sort of what happened here. It just kind of happened, and as we found out, they really weren't competitive. Tintin had a much younger family audience, and the great news was Warhorse was successful with a slightly older family audience, so there wasn't competition between those two, which worried me for a while.
I have all my life wanted to be in the movies. So when my career started to move along, it started on stage. So I was 20-some years on stage, about 20 of it on the New York stage. So all the time, every time I did a play, my friends would say, yeah, this is one that's going to take you to the coast. But it wasn't until 1987 when Street Smart came out that I got to the coast. So that would have been the catalyst for me. That's the one big boost.
Whew. I hope he speaks to me for the next couple of years. He's known to get mad at me.
Okay.
So, I don't know. He's brilliant, and I adore him. So, he'll win another award. Okay. And I don't feel bad.